as with many videos I do, take two, because I believe the cat, wanting her attention, clicked a button and stopped and restarted the video. So, like I said, I'm going to try to do a Who Will Win every day this week. Just this week, because I know I won't be able to do that every day for as long as I'm doing the channel, which will probably be indefinitely for a long time. But just because I have so many in docket, I wanted to get a couple out. Now, this comes from Chris Colbert, who gave me a couple interesting suggestions, and one of them he gave me was Cyclops versus Groot. Really don't have anything similar, except they both exist on a team of superheroes. One's space, one's earthbound mutants. So, yeah, let's see what this what's going to go down with this. Now, Groot, I can't remember his species name. He's a living plant, basically. He's made of highly dense plant matter and wood. He's got highly capable regenerative capabilities, including regrowing himself from a twig, basically surviving death on more than one occasion, and regrowing limbs, things along those lines. Now, his regrowing of appendages can take a little while. It's not like instantaneous, like not like Wolverine or Darwin kind of regeneration, but he can regrow limbs, things along those lines. Obviously, you can't only say I am Groot due to the fact that his larynx and like vocal cords are not evolved in a manner that he can articulate very well beyond I am Groot, but anyone who's got a good enough ear can basically figure out what he's saying. Now that being said, he's also got not cryokinesis, plant manipulation, basically. He can manipulate plants with his mind. He stands roughly, his height can vary from I am Groot to I am Groot, tiny to big. But generally, from what I can tell, his average height seems to stand somewhere in the neighborhood of around 23 feet high, and his average weight is around 8,000 pounds, give or take. But he can alter his weight and things, size on a whim. His strength and durability, he's durable enough to survive decent level explosions, heavy hitters, fire, all those kind of things. But super powerful beings, will just wreck his shit. So, he's highly durable, but he's not like indestructible by any stretch of the mean. That being said, I was unable to calculate his strength not because I can't calculate his strength per se, is that there's no measurement as far as I can tell of what like his limitations, like his lifting strength or his punching strength is. Kind of like how the Hulk can lift a 100 billion ton mountain, or Superman can lift 16 septillion tons. There's no measurement for Groot as far as I can tell, but he's traded blows with the likes of, granted, a weakened Thanos, but a weak Thanos nonetheless. He's cold-cocked him quite a bit. And even Thanos was overwhelmed by him and the echelon of superheroes that were getting involved. He's pulled a massive subterranean monster that was leagues larger than he was. Like, if Groot was at average height in the picture I was seeing, doing this feat, to compare, so at his average height, so around 23 feet long or high and around 8,000 pounds, that would make the creature in the picture somewhere in the neighborhood of like 200 feet long, which would probably put it in the couple 100,000 tons kind of category. So yeah, it was a big fuck off thing. So if we were to consider that, let's just conservatively say that Groot, it can go somewhere around the 100 tons area, something along that line. Let's go with that, 100 tons. That being said, Groot's also, not perfect. He tends to be a bit on the more. He's surprisingly intelligent, but he's also one of the more innocent members of the Guardians, all things considered. Whether you're going by the movies version or you're going by the comics version, he doesn't necessarily want to hurt you if he doesn't have to, but if he has to, he'll put you down. But he's been defeated several times. After all, he's survived near death, but that means someone had to put him near death. So yeah. Obviously, he can manipulate his body to certain degrees, like summon, plant tendrils out of him, things along those lines. Cyclops, Scott Summers. Now, he was the leader of the X-Men. He's a brilliant tactician, brilliant leader, but he also has self-esteem issues, mental instabilities. He's got to the point where when he went up against, I can't remember if it was the Phoenix Force that brought it out of him or something else. When he went up against a certain individual, I think Apocalypse today is what it was. It really brought to life some of his mental issues. He's got self-esteem issues. He's got some odd mental issues like depression. He's also got when it was the X-Men versus Avengers, he merged with the Phoenix Force, and he kind of inadvertently became a new Magneto in a couple ways. You know, wanting not necessarily mutant superiority, but mutants to. I can't remember exactly what the whole point behind that is, or was exactly, but he kind of he went off the deep end. He's also skilled. He's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, but let's be clear, that's really not going to play a part in this fight because if he tries to go toe-to-toe physically with Groot, he's going to get squished. But yeah, he's a skilled hand-to-hand combatant to the point where he can fight like a couple of normal men, blindfolded with no difficulty, and he can go toe-to-toe, not beat, but can hold his own against the likes of someone like Wolverine or even Captain America, who are some of the most skilled hand-to-hand fighters in the Marvel Universe. And of course, then we go into his actual mutation, his optic beams, which are actually he actually apparently doesn't have eyes. His eyes are replaced with like these portals. You know, he can see through where his eyes are supposed to be, but his vision his sockets are actually portals to an alternate dimension where he fires infinite concussive energy from. So as long as his eyes are open, as long as he got the stamina to do so, he can keep his eyes open indefinitely and keep his energy going indefinitely. Now his limit originally was about 15 minutes of doing this before he had to rest for about 15 minutes and do it again. But because of the aftermath of absorbing the Phoenix Force, not only is it possibly more erratic, his time frame. Maybe it could last 15 minutes, maybe it could last 15 seconds, maybe it'll last a minute and it'll be completely worn out. It's a crapshoot. But his beams always used to be, that straight line you see, that straight energy blast. And he could narrow it down to the diameter of a pencil, or he could expand to about like 4 feet wide and just blast. Now it's very chaotic and it arcs and it kind of circumvents and it's all over the place because the energy he's producing is now so kind of chaotic. It's still basically the same in nature, like it's still concussive. It produces no heat. It doesn't produce what did it not produce? Also, I read no heat, no friction. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's a concussive blast. But that being said, for all that unfortunateness, two things. One, he can't be hurt by his own energy beam. He's got like a psionic, because apparently his brain actually does like a mental barrier for his body. So he's got like a psionic protection field on his body, so he can't be hurt by his own energy. But also, even before the Phoenix Force, it was said that he could probably punch holes in mountains. He once told Juggernaut that's like, I could literally blast you with the power to split a planet in two. I highly doubt that. Though Stark did once record his energy output, not at max power, mind you, like having the energy of a nuclear reactor. Now, granted, a nuclear reactor blows, it will take a good chunk of the area out with it, and it could take if example, if a nuclear reactor in California blew up, it fully just not nuclear meltdown, mind you. There's a difference between a nuclear meltdown and a nuclear reactor exploding like a nuclear bomb. If a nuclear reactor exploded like a nuclear bomb, you probably would, that entire state, maybe the East Coast might be wiped out. That's not even close to half a planet. But we're talking about levels like that. And he literally has wiped out entire legions of like human-sized sentinels and even injured mystical entities. Like, I'm not using Sidorak as the example that he did, but something like the Demon Sidorak or Mephisto is a mystical being, technically speaking. So individuals like that, he's injured. So how does this fight break down? Well, let's say the Guardians are on Earth during the whole, Avengers versus X-Men thing. Or, I don't know exactly what it's going to be. Let's say they're on Earth and they're investigating. Maybe there's an Infinity Stone, or maybe there's some sort of cosmic thing going on Earth. And, they get separated. Groot's on his way in the woods, kind of just enjoying himself, but also looking for, clues or whatever. And him and Cyclops run into it. And Cyclops is like, who are you? And then he remembers hearing about the Guardians of the Galaxy from Stark, and goes like, oh, you're Groot's like, yeah, I don't say, oh, yeah, Groot. It's like, yeah, just get out of here and you won't go there. I've got my own, I am Groot, and then question mark. And then maybe Scott's like, says, yeah, mutants are good, humans are bad. Charles had it wrong and all that stuff. So now Groot's like, nope, I am Groot, and then the fight breaks down. So maybe he throws a tree at Scott, like Scott just blasts like pew, and then fight's really gonna break down. This is not gonna be a very long fight. Scott's gonna be on the defensive from the get because Groot's just far bigger, stronger, more powerful than he is. Plus, with plant kinesis, he can manipulate the forest or a certain area around him. Even for just grass on the ground, he can manipulate that. So Scott's trying to avoid. He's trying to blast at Groot. Because his blasts are more unpredictable now, maybe he carves out some areas around here, and Groot maybe gets Groot would definitely get hit at some point, and maybe it carves out a part of Groot. Maybe one of his arms was like, Groot, and then fires tendrils at Scott, who blasts him away again. And this is like, no, this is gonna have to go. This is gonna have to end real quick, Groot. So sorry about this. Then just blast that Groot, who was like summon some trees, but the trees are quickly being incinerated. But that's not disintegrated, but destroyed and just broken down. Groot's now starting to get worn down as well. And right as Groot's about to be destroyed, just Groot, and then he suddenly is like, all of a sudden Scott just collapses. Damn it! He's like, already? It's like Groot, and Groot's slowly regenerating. I mean, like slowly. Like you can still see him maybe like the bark slowly recovering his eye, maybe coming back into focus. Groot's still got one arm left, so he just comes and just smacks Scott down. So unless Scott goes all out point blank range on Groot, Groot's gonna have enough. And whatever fight scenario, we got to give Groot at least the access to most of his abilities. Same with Scott. Same with like with any of these characters. Groot's gonna have access to like enough plant material to create a makeshift shield to at least take at least some of the attack, therefore not being injured as quickly, and therefore causing Scott to wear out a lot quicker because Scott doesn't necessarily have a 15-minute limit anymore. He could be done like that, or he could be going indefinitely for a while. The former is more likely given the chaotic nature of its powers now. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a clear scenario where Scott wins, where he just decides to incinerate Groot from the get. Just like he doesn't give a rat's ass about Groot, and just boom, and just incinerates Groot. Not Groot, I think as long as there's a little bit left of him, will grow back. Like, let's say he incinerates him but leaves his feet, Groot will grow back out of his feet eventually. But Groot loses the fight. But overall, I think you're going to see Groot win this fight 80% of the time. Scott maybe takes it about 20%, given the right scenario. Absolutely. But yeah, I told you it was going to be a quick one. Well, actually, no, I didn't say that, did I? But it was going to be a quick one. Just because, work and things along those lines, I'm trying to... And I've already basically written or marked down all the ones that I'm going to get to throughout the week. Some of them are definitely going to need some more research to them. Some of them will be quick, like this one. But just keep your eyes out for those. I don't know which one's going to be tomorrow, but I'll have one up tomorrow. I will say that. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hopefully will have Magic up tomorrow, combined today with tomorrow. And if you got something you'd like us to review, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who to win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, Dragon Ball, anything I do on the channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. Now, Baby Driver comes out tomorrow. I'm going to see it Thursday, simply because I don't want to go out on Wednesday after I get out of work if I can help it. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.